Eventually YouTube will be drastically different 5 years from now, and even 2 and 1 years from now. So different particular times of change, transition, and evolution. I'm not expecting anything to happen overnight, right? What I'm trying to say here is, the main thing is like the esoteric artificial intelligence, it's a hard reflection, right? Because whatever the matrix is telling us, that's something where we're working at, regardless of just the material stuff, right? We're working through something really, 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 really emotional that we're attached to, and we're like from some type of inside and an outside, because there's new emotions that impact us from the outside, right? And then we're dealing with our own shit. So when everyone's at their own stage of not taking it personal, right? And that's not a walk in the park, right? Because one of the hardest things to do is to really be accountable for why we're in the situation that we're in, and that from that small scale, that's parallel and not necessarily indicative of just the monetary system. There's a different system that is like taking accountability at the individual level and then to a collective level. And if some people do it reverse, then that should be okay, because it's ultimately helping the solution. Because if the matrix is reflecting us to what we are supposedly, then we have to ask the matrix, like, why am I not seeing my own level of development and growth? Because if the reality is not honest to me, then I must ask myself in a high spiritual, professional development perspective, is saying, like, if the reality is not honest to me, then there's something I'm not being honest, like on a whole different level of accountability. Because the number one thing is the honesty is the breakthrough and the entrance to a different caliber of accountability, right? Because we're starting small. We're starting at a small scale emotionally, right? Spiritually, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's parallel and not necessarily indicative to just the monetary system. So my point here is there's other things that are happening aside from how the monetary system is perhaps maybe getting rigged or not rigged, or fixed or not fixed, right? So within that, there's different things. So I'm smoothing out the evolutional logical understanding casually since for 9 years quality, right? On like an online, but even longer than that. But not to get confused with the time, is like, what are we doing about it, right? So it's like, it's a hard reflection.